Life Assembly of God Church. Petrick enjoyed a strong bond with his only son.
He was not rebellious at all. We had a good family. You know, his mom loved him, I loved him, and we always put family first.
Problems in the Petrick home began in 2007, when Daniel developed a staph infection after a snowboarding accident.
He found 2 holes in his spine. He was on antibiotics for 9 months. Could do nothing. No physical activity at all.
To pass the time during his illness, Daniel wanted to play video games. Mark Petrick and his wife Susan bought their son a console and a few games.
Motocross and football and hockey, decent games, but then he started asking about these violent video games. We didn't know he was sneaking them home and playing them.
Daniel's obsession became impossible for his parents to control.
I told Danny, if you bring any violent video games in the house, I will destroy them. Well, he became very angry. He kept sneaking and kept doing it.
Father and son clashed again when a new version of Daniel's favorite game, Halo 3, was released at midnight on September 25th, 2007.
He snuck out of the house at like 2 o'clock in the morning, went and bought it and came back home, and my wife caught him, woke me up. I took the game, said, no, you're not playing it, you're done.
His father put it in a locked box that he kept in his room, which is where the father also kept the gun.
On the evening of October 20th, Mark and Susan Petrick were relaxing in their living room.
Daniel took the set of keys that his father left on the desk, took the one key that opened a lockbox in his father's room. From the lockbox, he took the 9mm handgun and the Halo video game.
Daniel walked into the room where his parents were sitting on a couch.
I was sitting here in this chair, and he comes out of his room, says, Mom and Dad, I have a surprise for you. Could you close your eyes? And I'm leaning back, my wife's leaning back. He comes up behind me, and he shot me in the head. And when I came to, looked over, and my wife was laying there. It looked like she was sleeping. I didn't know he had shot her 4 times. And she was dead. And then Danny sits down next to me, and he says, here, Dad, take this. He tries to give me the gun. And I knew what happened. He shot me.
Daniel tried to make the shootings look like a murder-suicide, but his plan collapsed.
I heard the doorbell ring, and I went over to the door, and it was my sister, my brother-in-law, and then my sister just started screaming, and then called the ambulance.
I don't know what happened. I just came over to my parents' house, and my mom is shot, and my dad is shot, and my brother's here. Oh my God! Oh Lord, why is this happening?
Daniel left the gun and took off in the family minivan, but the 16-year-old didn't get very far. Meanwhile, Mark Petrick was rushed to the hospital, where he was questioned by police.
Mr. Petrick, Daniel shoot.
I became so angry and so bitter, it turned into a literal hatred for my son. And I'm a minister, and I teach people about forgiveness. I was full of hatred. And here I am supposed to be a man of God. Huh.
Daniel Petrick was charged with aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder. He pleaded not guilty. The trial began in December 2008. By then, Mark Petrick had forgiven his son.
I can't count the number of times that he said, Dad, I'm his mom. His pain runs very deep, and it should. If his pain did not run deep, I guarantee you I would not be standing here speaking on his behalf.
In January 2009, Daniel Petrick was found guilty of murder and attempted murder. 6 months later, on June 17th, the 17-year-old was sentenced to life in prison.
Daniel, this is your opportunity to speak if you wish. Very wish.
Daniel will become eligible for parole in 2030. Until then, Mark Petrick will continue with his process of forgiveness and recovery.
If I didn't forgive my son, I would be an absolutely angry, miserable human being the rest of my life. So forgiveness is powerful. extremely powerful. I asked God to help me, because if it was just up to me, there's no way I would have been able to do it.